Hey, what's up? My name's Vincent. I'm a game designer and I'm happy to have you here. I'm not sure if you saw the super exciting news, but Konami, Yu-Gi-Oh! Have officially announced a new alternative format called Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis. And this format looks so freaking exciting. I'm excited because as a longtime Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, I've been waiting for there to be an alternative format. I even tried making my own, and I've got some really good feedback on those, but I'm happy that this is an official supported format. Let's dive into it, okay? So in this Genesis format, it essentially has a point buy system. The default for this is 100 points. So essentially they have a card list where each card has a point value, and if there's no card listed with no point value, then you could essentially say it's 0 points. You can include as many of those as you want, up to 3 copies per card. But some cards may be worth, say, 50 points, so you can only say use 2 of those cards, and then that uses up your 100 points total. So even if you had 2, and it's per card, so each instance of that card would be 50 points in this case. In addition to this, there's no forbidden list, there's no restricted list, so you could use something like Pot of Greed. If you play 3 Pot of Greeds, you can do that, but it's going to use up almost all of your points, and that's basically all you can do with this list. And it's a long list of cards, so you really have to pick and choose wisely. Also, there's no Link and Pendulum summons, which I know will definitely ruffle some feathers, especially for players playing advanced format, which is basically like your meta, like current Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like what you play in tournaments. There's a lot of archetypes that use Link and Pendulum summoning, and so that's not going to be cool for everyone. And I know whenever I was creating my own alternative formats for Yu-Gi-Oh!, people were giving me pushback saying, well, Vincent, this is going to make some decks better and some decks worse, and so this format sucks. I hate it. But that's a good thing. You actually want the meta to be changed. That's the point of a different format. It's to allow other things room to play. And if it was playing the same decks, then that's not, what's the point of the format? You would just play those decks in the normal format anyways. Also, an alternative format isn't for the people that's super hardcore into the advanced format. It's not for the people that just love playing current Yu-Gi-Oh! This is a means to try to expand and appeal to this large Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan base that currently isn't playing Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a ton of people like myself that play Yu-Gi-Oh! Casually, that enjoy the merchandise for Yu-Gi-Oh!, but we're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's just something that obviously it's been a concern for them. That's why they made Speed Duel. That's why they make these mobile games. That's why they made Master Duel. They're trying their best to bring people on, and I think this Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis format is an awesome way of doing that. I'll leave a link in the description below for the format so you can look at it yourself. I do think that one improvement that they can make is by adding it to their website, a deck builder in which you can upload your deck that you want for Genesis, and it will keep up with the points that it has on there, and if you go over the point limit, it will say that. They also need it to where you can set the point limit, because they did come out and state that the 100 points is the default, but tournament organizers can change the default. I do think we'll see some people running 0 point Genesis, which I think would be really cool. Essentially, that would mean you can't run anything on the list, and you can't run Link or Pendulum. But, we could see 50 point, 200 point. I think the defaults is going to be 100, and then we're going to see 0 point. And I think it's an exciting time. I think we're going to see different decks, different metas, different, archetypes. Have a go at it, and I think this will be a good way to sort of try to bring in the more casual audience back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And start playing and collecting again. So let me know your thoughts. We have a Discord community that loves talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And anime. I make my own card games inspired by Yu-Gi-Oh! Among many other things, including lots of anime and stuff. And so if you want to check that out, you can check out the links below. We also mail our own special limited edition cards each and every month on Patreon. So if you want to check that out or just join for free, we'd love to have you there. Thank you so much, and as always, stay awesome. Hey, what is up? If you're a fan of anime and tabletop games, then be sure to check out our card games, tabletop role-playing games, and even our manga. We have a lot of fun stuff over there for you to check out on our website, VindicateEntertainment.com. We even have a brand new tabletop role-playing game, Black Paper Moon. Check it out, and we'll see you there.